What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Doctor of Stuff channel. I'm your host, Doctor of Stuff, and this is episode 1 of Digital Collecting Talk with Doc. And I am super excited to be doing this. I've been wanting to grow the channel, and I just have not been able to be consistent. And that's one of the biggest things is being able to go live or to have content out kind of like on a weekly basis where people can kind of rely and say, hey, I know that this is going to be happening every week, and I just haven't been able to do that. Omi is my homie, which is more consistent for me on Wednesdays. I still can't make that a lot of times. And in fact, I missed the last one, which was because I actually went to this game, that Utah Hockey Club. They're coming up with a name, but until they come up with an actual name, they're sticking with Utah Hockey Club. And I got some half-season tickets to that to kind of test it out. And I went to my first one. I kind of did it as like a speculation play where, hey, this is a novel sports team. Maybe there's going to be a lot of demand for it. I didn't know anything about hockey. Talked to a lot of people who bought hockey season tickets before, and everyone I talked to was like, oh, like you'll easily sell these. That has not been the case, actually. So I was like, well, what am I doing? Like, I'm just going to start enjoying these games. So I went to my first one, and it happened to be a Wednesday, took the wife. She was also kind of like, I don't know about hockey. And guys, I'm telling you, I mean, look, like I bought the swag, like I am all in. Hockey is freaking amazing. I'm just telling you. And sorry, this is a tangent on this, but where I'm going with it is, look, pretty much every Tuesday night, barring next week where my guest can only do it kind of later in the week, it's typically going to be Tuesday nights where I just talk about what's going on with VeVe, with Cryptoys or DC Comics or Pokemon, right? Digital collecting, even I love like the ownership part of it, but like I still think that like Pokemon, this game that's come out, TCG Pocket, has been huge. It's been so fun. So we're going to talk about that and all these things. And I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see these comments. Christopher Sid, like, look, I met Christopher. Christopher is an awesome collector. You should see his AMC popcorn buckets collection. It's insane. And he's gotten some of the things that, like, I ordered the Batman, the Bat Signal popcorn bucket. That still hasn't come. I gotta check in on that. What's going on there? Go BYU. I don't know about that, man. So like I went to the University of Utah, and BYU has been our rival for a long time. And actually, we have like a 10-year streak where we destroyed BYU, but we have not done well, at least in football, the last couple of years. And we suck this season. BYU is crushing it. So I actually am, because they're just a Utah team, I am rooting for them. I can't root for them against Utah. I don't expect Utah to win, though, but they're going up. So interesting, Christopher. We'll have to chat about that. I didn't know, like most people don't even know who BYU is, but Bill Gardner, first like. Let's go, man. Bill, how you doing? It's been a while. Haven't talked to you. And Randy, I heart you. Babe. Or what's the? There's some news signal. I don't know. Kids nowadays do like the heart signal differently than that. I saw it and I was like, that's crazy. Big A, what's up, Big A? Mr. MC1. Well, look, you're the GOAT, my friend. Like, I'll take that compliment, but like right back at you. What a rock star. Look, guys, I'm excited to get into this. So, first of all, like, not this channel, there's no financial advice here, right? I'm just talking about the love of digital collecting. I'm talking about what I'm collecting, and I'll get into all of the different platforms that I think that are out there, kind of on the more digital collectibles side of things. So the first one that I want to get into, and I'm going to share my screen here, is the most recent announcement that VeVe made about Evolvables. So I'm guessing that if you guys are watching this, you've heard as what's going on, but for those who haven't, right? I want to kind of, I'm going to share my screen here so we can look at this. Okay. So what this is the this is on VeVe's blog here, the Evolvables. And I'm going to kind of like read through this and walk you guys through what this is and why I like. So I like, it starts out like this, right? The game is changing with Evolvables. A new way to collect and upgrade digital collectibles. And we're going to dig into what this means, right? What are evolvable drops? Evolvables drops. Man, that's going to be a tongue twister, I think, to say that. Say that 3 times fast. Are similar to current VeVe drops in the sense that there are 5 collectibles in a set. So common, uncommon, rare, ultra rare, secret rare, right? And to complete the set, you must own all 5. However, for the first time, you can actively transform your digital items through the Evolvables model, which enables you to purchase multiple editions of a collectible and burn them to unlock rarer versions. There are 5 rarity tiers, and we kind of already talked about that, right? So they're saying, for example, if you wanted to secure a secret rare in an Evolvables drop, you must burn a common to uncraft an uncommon. So you're going to have to go, and the drop is going to be, and we'll dig into this, right? I guess it gives this example. So we'll go into this. In a typical Evolvables drop, a common will be priced at 20 gems. So that can be high. It's going to depend on the quality of this collectible, right? If all of a sudden this is a mighty, and mighties have been going for 12 gems or 14 gems before, and now to get the common it's 20, people might hesitate about that. But we're going to get into that, right? So you get the common, and then you're going to have to burn that common, and then you're going to pay $6.99 to then buy, as part of this transaction, to get the uncommon. You're going to be burning that $20 common and then buying that uncommon, but also paying an additional $7. So that's $27, 27 gems to get the uncommon. So now you're going to be, if you want the rare, you're going to be burning that uncommon, which costs you $27. You're going to be spending another $7. So now you're up to $34 to get that rare. And then if you want the ultra rare, you have to then burn that rare, pay $10, right? And so that brings it to $44 for the ultra rare. And then if you want that secret rare, right, you're going to be burning that ultra rare that costs you $44, paying another $10. So $54 is going to get you that secret rare. But you no longer have any of the other editions, right? So you're going to actually, to get that set, you're going to have to pay basically 54, 44, 34, 27, and 20, right? Like, so that can be quite a bit for the set. So it's going to be very interesting to see what drop they do initially. And so this walks you through that, right? Basically, I said 54, but I rounded up since it's $6.99 instead of like $7. Now, here's something on top of this, right? So they're saying that each drop is going to have a special edition chaser. So 3% of the commons are going to have a special edition chaser. And so you have a chance to secure a super low edition collectible when purchasing a common from the store. So that's the first thing, right? Super low edition. And then it says special edition commons will typically be the same collectible design as the common, with unique visual differences that distinguish them from the common. So what does that mean? Like, who knows, right? It might be you have the same color scheme with the common, but maybe it sparkles, or not. Maybe not the collectible itself, but the background sparkles or something, and that's how you'll be able to determine that that's the special edition of that common. It'd be interesting to see what that means. And it says edition sizes. So edition in evolvable drops are typically larger due to the burn mechanics, right? So it'd be interesting to see what's this first drop, what it is. Is it a 10,000 edition? I think 10,000 commons could be a lot. But again, if people really want this unique collectible and they want that secret rare and they want the ultra rare or whatever, then there's going to be a lot of commons burned through that process just to get to that. On top of the, uncommons, rares, and ultra rares. So really interesting way. And I want to hear you guys' comments about this. So will all drops be evolvables? No, right? You're still going to have some blind box things. You're going to have just straight up drops. So this is just like a new version of one of the drops that they're going to be implementing. And I want to see if there's comments here on, let's see. I better get that bread. Oh man, you've been sick, Randy. Sorry to hear that, man. Hope you feel better. Something's been kind of going around. I love the fam. This is funny. He says, feel like Ben is behind this new mechanic. He's hitting the ground running. Really good hire so far. listen, I'm gonna sidestep this Evolvables thing. I think that I haven't really spoken much on Ben, but I want to give him a massive shout out. One of the biggest complaints that I've had, and you can go back on my channel on around the Comeyverse on Omi is my homie, where I've talked about communication and transparency is key to keeping your collector base, your community around, right? And I felt like at times the communication was pretty poor, and I've been very transparent about that. And so Ben comes on, and the first thing he does, look, like this guy has been all over the place with being on people's channels, on spaces, talking about this, even just the reading people's tweets and comments. That was fun. He's re-engaging the community, right? So I have no idea if he's behind this new mechanic, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. And one of the things that I think is really cool about this is the most it's going to cost someone to get a secret rare is $55. That's awesome. That's one of the biggest complaints that people had is, listen, I want that secret rare. I don't get it on the drop, and maybe it was a $12 drop or a $40 drop, and now the secret rare is $700. I'm not going to be able to buy that. So now it'll be interesting because depending on the number of edition sizes, it might, and the demand, it might be that the secret rares still sell out, right? As people are purchasing and burning that, to where then the secret rares on the secondary market, if that does sell out, still could go for quite a bit more than what was paid to get there. So it'll be interesting to see. But the fact that, listen, there's a high likelihood that you could get a secret rare and it's only going to cost you $54. That's pretty cool. That'll be really cool. I want to hear what you guys say. Like what are your thoughts on this? Do you guys like it? Are there concerns that you have with this? And 10 days. Yeah. Okay. So hey, Big A. Let's highlight this. So Big A, is this on Collectors Gone Digital? Big A, is that where you're doing the interview? You should put that in the chat. So it says that he gets to interview Ben next week. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to watch that. I've watched all of the interviews with Ben, and I have been really, really excited about the communication. The first thing that he's done is really given us an update on the VeVe-verse, which has been sorely lacking, and also more of hey, just an FYI, this is kind of what to expect from the VeVe-verse. This isn't going to be Ready Player One, but this is what it's going to look like. So shout out to you, Ben. If you watch this, thank you for that communication. It's so key. And look, I think this is showing one thing that David is phenomenal at, right? Is getting additional IP. When I was at San Diego Comic-Con, I went to the VeVe party. Actually, the party that Sanjay set up. So shout out to you, Sanjay. I was trying to talk to David, and he was talking to an artist, a pretty high-profile comic artist. And he was trying to get him to get some of his artwork on VeVe. Like, this guy's working nonstop on that. But there's a lot more to being a CEO than just getting the IP. But that's one of the things that David is best at doing. And so the fact that he gets to really focus on that, and Ben can come in and do a lot more of the logistics, the communication and things, I think that was a sorely needed ad, and he has crushed it so far. So love that. Ethan, I appreciate this comment, Doc. Love that you're considering weekly streams. What are your thoughts on the recent plunge in the OMI token price? I had a lot of, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, Ethan, on OMI is my homie. I'm trying to make this more of just like the collectible space. But in general, my thesis is this. OMI for me is a longer term hold. So I'm not super emotionally concerned about the price going down right now. I'll just say this. There are very few. I've been investing in crypto now for almost 3.5 years. So not crazy, but in crypto time, that's actually a decent amount of time to be in crypto and to be looking at this. And I say investing in crypto, like I've been a part of some venture capital pre-seed firms, right? Where basically their token is not out publicly, and they're making pitch. They have a pitch deck, and they're sending it to these venture capital groups, right, to try to raise seed money to get their idea, their dream off the ground, right? And so part of that is reviewing these pitch decks, looking at the tokenomics behind it, all of these different things. And I've kind of whittled down my holdings right now, but I'm still in about 70 projects right now. So I feel like, and that's the projects I'm currently in. I have reviewed hundreds and hundreds, and I say reviewed, like really looked at the white papers on a lot of these projects. And I'll say this: very few of them come to fruition, but even then, their tokens will still pump for a little bit, right? But a lot of those projects have died during the bear market. They were scams, or the people ran away with the money. So I look at VeVe and I look at what they're building, and I think that VeVe is building something for the long term, and the OMI token is tied to that. And so as long as VeVe is successful, and once we get the true utility of OMI to NFT with all of the items that are currently on VeVe, which, knock on wood, I really hope happens, and I believe it has to happen for OMI to have a chance. So long term, short term for me, like I'm buying some more of this token at this price, but I'm not expecting in the short term. And because I'm diversified, I have other projects that are doing really, really well. VeVe is one of my tokens. I got at a great price, and that's up, I think, 16, 17% today, right? So anyways, Ethan, I hope that kind of gives you an idea, and I'll go way more in depth on OMI token. OMI is my homie. I think that that's basically the better avenue for that. And here's going to be more about talking about digital collecting and VeVe and Cryptoys and McFarlane digital toys and Pokemon. I can't wait to start talking about Pokemon as well. But let's see. So on the Inform Mint channel where we do them. Oh yeah. Okay. My bad. I was getting confused with Collectors Gone Digital and Inform Mint. Congrats on that. So drop that in. Make sure that you post the date and things, and I'll make sure that we get that out. We want as many people and support all of the content creators out there that are really trying to inform people. And I love these interviews and getting questions out. So congrats on that, Big A. It looks like Wes has a similar thing to say. Congrats, Big A. Looking forward to that. So awesome. Guys, I still haven't seen anything in the chat about what you guys think about this Evolvables mechanic. I think that it'll be interesting because on top of that, what happens is the common potentially becomes pretty rare as well. If there's a lot of people who want the secret rare, there's just the common itself can become pretty scarce. So yeah, really interesting to see how all this plays out. Guys, I don't know what's happened. My phone is blowing up since about 12:30 p.m. today. Someone has my information or something and has applied for insurance, car insurance. I don't know. My phone has been blowing up, and everyone is like, "Hey, here you're looking for insurance quotes," and I'm like, "What? No, I'm not." And I think I've gotten about 50 calls. It's been crazy. So if you want to prank someone, that's an amazing way to do it. Just fill out an online insurance quote form. Someone's information, don't do that. Someone apparently has done that to me. I don't know. Anyways, interesting. Okay, so Big A says, I like the mechanic, but does that mean that they have to hold back a ton of each rarity to have enough for the evolve drop? So yeah, I think so, right, Big A? I think that initially there's going to be quite a bit of rares and ultra rares and uncommons and commons, so that people who want that secret rare, they have to purchase each one of those, right, and then burn it. So initially there will be a lot, but then if it's a super high demand secret rare and people want that, then a lot of those commons, uncommons, and rares and ultra rares will get burned in the process, which makes it more scarce. But it'll be interesting to see, right? It's tough to make a final opinion until we start seeing the numbers behind that, and then how people act. And is it on a drop? Because again, they're only going to do this on certain drops. So I'm hoping that the first one they do is a banger, where everyone is just like, I absolutely want this drop, and so I'm going to go for that secret rare and get that. The one downside, right, is that it is a little bit higher entry point for the people who, let's say that they're going for, again, the Mighty's drop, and it's $14, but then they hit that secret rare. Well, they only paid $14 for that secret rare, and now it's worth a lot more money. And so you're not going to, that entry point is going to be a lot higher to get that secret rare. But I think that to be able to get that for the people who really, really want it, now they're not paying outrageous potential prices in the secondary market just to collect this set. So I do think it's a way to kind of get those who really want to collect it to be able to enter that at kind of a little bit lower price point overall, especially on a higher demand thing. So let's see. VeVe Ben says, interesting. Maybe after testing it, it could be used on collectibles in comics with huge supplies. Oh, sorry, Mrs. West is so need evolvable for old 60K edition comics. I agree. That's one thing that I look back in the day. I think it was Dan who said that there was some sort of mechanic that they had been talking about. It wasn't promised, but they talked about the potential to burn like your commons or something and get this rarer edition. So maybe this evolvable is what he was talking about. But I agree with Wes. I think it would be fantastic to be able to, with some of these 60K edition comics, Marvel 1, right? Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #1. A lot of these early drops that had just super high edition counts, to say, listen, if you burn these commons or you burn a certain amount of uncommons, you get a new cover, right? That would be interesting. And I actually think that would be a new way to kind of make some of these comics that people are buying maybe the floor on it at $20, but like I think that creates a little bit more liquidity in the markets where people are saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to burn some of that. And so then the people who all hold on to the commons or the uncommons or whatever you can burn, right, it just becomes scarcer, and that adds value to collectors. So I'm totally for that, Wes, and I've advocated for that before. I would love to be able to burn my comics and get something different for that. So we'll see if that plays out. But so the second thing, for those who know me, I absolutely am a huge Wolverine fan. I love Wolverine so much. He's epic. So anyways, VeVe is doing another drop, right? So that's another one of the announcements that they have is, and I'm going to pull this up here, but it's Wolverine. Pull this up. All right. So what do we got here? Old Man Logan. Just look at how cantankerous this guy is. Just Wolverine's the bomb. Anyways, I'm interested in what you guys think about this. So from what I'm hearing, like this sounds like this is the last Wolverine that they're doing in this series of all the different Wolverines. I have all of the Wolverines. I don't have the secret rare of the second Wolverine drop. I think it's the brown suit Wolverine that has a low edition secret rare. Didn't land that on the drop, and the price point's pretty substantial right now. But I have all of the commons and uncommons and the rest of them. And I want to know if you guys are going to be going for this on the drop. I saw a poll that someone had posted, and it sounded about like there's about 30% or so that said that they were going to go for the drop. There's about 20% that said that they weren't going to go for the drop, and then a higher amount that said that they were probably going to go for it on the secondary. So it'll be interesting to see there. But I love the different, I don't know, the different versions of Wolverine and like his life story and like where he is with this. So I'm definitely going to be going for this off the drop, just because sometimes I like to have what I call like a clean version where it hasn't been owned by anyone else, and that's just something that I'm going to hold in my vault for a super long time. So let's see. Big A says, uncommon comics are the redheaded stepchild of comics. Need to burn 10 to craft. Do etching better mechanic. I don't know what that means. But, it's interesting. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in the day, uncommons were going for quite a bit more than the commons, right? Because they were more scarce. But then over time, people have collected the commons because they said, look, this is the original comic cover art. And so that's kind of reversed. And yeah, I agree that now it's kind of like you land the uncommon and it's like, However, there are exceptions to this, and this is something I think the VeVe should think about. But there are certain uncommons where the cover is just so fire that people are like, that's what I want. I want that uncommon cover. And I'm totally down in that. Like, that's what I'm excited for. So you can have the original comic cover art, but then if you make that uncommon, instead of just like a black and white version of it, you did. And I think that we see that more on the VeVe Comics drops, right? That they partner up with Marvel on, that you have to go to the VeVe Comics website to purchase. We have seen some of that, but it would be really cool actually if some of the drops on VeVe they changed to that, because I think that then those uncommon covers might be more highly sought after. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts on that. But look, this is going to be limited 666, right? So it's not the most limited Wolverine, but it is a limited Wolverine at pricing at $40. So it'll be interesting. You don't have to have a lot of people who want to go for this off the drop for this to sell out. Like I said, I'm going to be going for it on the drop. I'm pretty excited about that. So look, I'm really overall with these recent VeVe announcements of the Evolvables. I'm really excited to kind of see that mechanic, and with a little hesitancy, I guess I'm really hoping that it's a banger of a drop that they do on the very first one, because what you probably don't want is with this new drop mechanic and you drop something that no one wants, and so then people just don't, like, there's not a lot of action on it. I would imagine that they've got to realize that that's going to be the case, and so I'm hoping that this drop comes out with something awesome. But look, I think it's going to be guesswork for them as well as to how many additions that they want to do. I'm sure that they've run some scenarios as to, like, okay, if we do this, what's happened in the past with these different like addition size drops, and now with the burn mechanic, how people going to react to that? So it'll be interesting to see. But that's what I love. Look, they're trying new things. This is a sandbox type approach to this, and with that, actually, if you think about that, because it's a sandbox, they might not want to drop a banger on the first one just to see how it works. So it might be a more limited edition, less of a banger drop, to just make sure that the mechanics all work. I could see that happening as well. So, but overall, guys, super stoked on that. And I just got this chair. It's like, I don't know how to lock the back of it, so it kind of like leans me back. Anyways, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was actually Candy. I don't know, Candy Digital, right? So they changed their website over recently. They have all the DC comics, and so I definitely still collect on Candy and go for a lot of the drops. In fact, Crypto Rain and I did an interview with Matt Mason when they first announced the Bat-Cowls project, which kind of was like the launch of kind of DC NFT, and then the comics, the DC3 that they've dropped since, kind of launched on that. And then Candy, I don't know if Candy like purchased the rights to that or how that's merger happened or how Candy got the access here. But so they've been dropping DC comics. So this is where I'm really interested to hear what you guys think about this. So one of the biggest hits this year for comics is this, what do they call it? Oh, hold on, Ultimate, I believe is it Ultimate Batman? Where is this? Guys, hold on. Let me find out my phone. Absolute Batman. I don't know if you've seen the art for that, but it's pretty phenomenal. And apparently it's a super, like, people love the comic, not just like the artwork, but the actual storyline of it. They love it. And so Candy just dropped. This is where let me share my screen. All right, so here we go. Right, so first of all, there's this drop, which, hey, if you guys are on Candy and you haven't done this yet, they're giving away a free Justice League membership card. I got Wonder Woman, the Dark Seed one, which is pretty dope looking right here to the right. That's the last time I checked, that was going for like 40 or 50 bucks. People wanted. We have no idea what this is going to do. It's a free drop. And let's see. Oh, I did not read this part. Collect and hold all 5 membership cards in your account by 12 p.m. Eastern Time on November 29th to qualify for an exclusive Justice League artwork by the renowned Daniel Sampier. So that makes a lot more sense as to why people are going for these. I was like, I don't know what the utility behind that is. Looks like I should read things more often. But one of the things that I'm not seeing here, which is frustrating, is this absolute drop. Oh, okay, drops. And then why is this not showing? Guys, this is annoying. Well, I'm just wondering if they're making me, like, I have to sign in to do that, and I'm not going to sign in. But ultimately, the first one that they're dropping is Absolute Superman. And one of the mechanics that they're doing with this, which I thought was really unique, is basically they are, how did I get 2? How did you get 2? Did I get 2 what? Big A. Big A is asking, how did I get 2? I don't know what you mean by getting 2. Are you talking about the cards? The Justice League card? I only got Wonder Woman. So yeah, I've only got one of those, but you can buy them on the marketplace. They're on the secondary market there. But the mechanic that DC is doing, which is unique, is basically their core, which is the equivalent of a common. Basically, that's an open edition size, and it's in sequential order. So the earlier that you buy that, the lower mint number that you're going to get on that common. So I missed out on the drop today. Work was busy, and I had a meeting and totally spaced it. So, and then I went for so you have the core, that common, and then you have the variety pack, which is a blind box, and got the uncommon on this latest drop that they had there. But I am definitely going to be going for that Absolute Batman, and I'm really interested to see how this all plays out, because the core, by the way, is cheaper than the variety pack. So the core is $4.99, and again, it's open edition mint. And I wonder if at some point they'll close that, right, to where that could potentially make that a pretty rare common, depending on how many people actually just go for that core, as opposed to the variety pack, which is $6.99, and I think it's $6.99. This is annoying that I can't see that on. Let's see. So, well, like, I can show you this, right? So Absolute Superman, there you go. There's the picture of it. It's fire artwork, and that's that core. And then you have the variety pack, and that drops tomorrow. So I'm going to be going for that. Oh, and the one that I went in today is the DC All-In Special. So went for that. I love that these platforms are trying new drop mechanics to kind of see like what works, how people are doing that. Because look, at the end of the day, can I just say, I had to laugh at one of the comments that someone made when VeVe made this announcement of the Evolvables, as someone was just like, yeah, they're just looking for another way to bring more cash into the company. And I was like, isn't that like what businesses are supposed to do? That's yeah. And I'm stoked on this drop mechanic. So really excited to see how this plays out. So let me know, are you guys collecting on candy? If so, what are some of the things that you've done? I've been trying to stack. Look, and this is why I love competition. Why I want to talk about all of the different platforms is they're all doing different things, right? And I have to give a huge shout out to Candy, because they are making their comic books interoperable. Now, as I've listened to the AMAs on that, really what it is you're going to be able to put that in your cold storage or your wallet, and it's just going to be a 2D image of the comic, right? You're not going to be able to read the comic. If you send it into your MetaMask wallet or something, you get that, like, you're not going to be able to read the comic there. You're going to have to import it back to the DC or the Candy platform to be able to utilize that. That's not to say that there couldn't be other companies who want to build a platform that then allows that ability to read as well, but they would have to build all of that out. So the likelihood of that is pretty slim. However, there are certain people out there that's what they want. They're like, listen, I want control of my assets. And my collectibles, I want that control. I want to be able to do that. And so even if I can't read the comic, the fact that I hold that I can put that in my cold storage wallet, or I'm putting in a wallet that I completely control. I love that. And I hope, and I believe that VeVe is working on some sort of way to do that. I hope so. And by Candy Digital doing this, and they're in the beta testing phase. I applied for it. Unfortunately, Candy Digital, you did not give me the beta testing. I don't know what it is, guys. I haven't get into the secret groups of beta testing. I'm not in the VeVe-verse. I'm not okay. I do have to admit, I did get into the beta testing of Omi to NFT. That being said, like I think I actually lost a decent amount of Omi. The whole purpose was just to try to break the system by trading back and forth. But then there are some people who kind of took advantage of the low prices that I was listing things for in Omi, because I thought that they would just buy it and then relist it at that low price, and they just bought it and kept it. But it was fun. It was fun to be part of that beta test, and I definitely would have loved to have been a beta tester for this interoperability with Candy Digital assets, where I could withdraw that into my MetaMask. Now, my understanding right now is that the function is one way: is once you withdraw it, you can't put it back on yet. So interested to see how that pans out. What's up, Captain Kurt? It was really nice to meet you in person, and that's the fun thing. Big A, shame on you for not coming to New York Comic Con. It was a freaking blast, and you need to come to one of those in real life events. Wes was there. Well, no, Wes was not at New York Comic Con. I didn't see Wes there. He was at San Diego Comic Con. So saw him there. But I love just meeting people in real life. It's the best, man. And it's funny because sometimes you'll meet someone and you're like, huh, that is not how I pictured you in real life. And maybe that's because your profile is like some pirate, or and then anyways, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to meet people in real life. So that's VeVe, and that's Candy. And now, guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not played Pokemon TCG Pocket, I don't know what you're doing. It's crazy. So I saw some of the VeVe fam kind of posting about it like on day one, and I was like, I need to look into this, because my daughter has gotten super into Pokemon recently. She's 7 years old, almost 8, and she saved up her money to buy this Pikachu binder to hold her cards, and she's going to school every day, and she's like trading. And right now, her sense of value is either the shiny cards or the ones with the most power. That's what she's trying to collect. She freaking loves it, like literally every day. And I don't know anything about Pokemon. And so I said, hey, I'm gonna play this game, and so I can learn some more of the characters. And holy crap, guys, it is addicting. So fair warning, if you do not want to be addicted to a game, or you're easily get addicted to things, this thing sucks you in. It was crazy, super crazy. I got to show you some of this. It's, oh my gosh, it is epic. So I kind of went ham the very first. Oh, and look, I just got my pick there. This is one of the, I don't know how many of these freaking Wonder Pick drops that I've done, and I have not been able to get this guy for so long, Meowth, and I finally got it. But anyways, so the whole premise is, some of you guys I'm sure have played Pokemon and you know all about it. I didn't know anything about it, but it can be free to play, or it can be play to earn. And I definitely was pay to earn, or what is it? Pay to play. That's what I was doing, pay to play. So as I was posting all these things, I was definitely paying for packs, and it was just like, it just drew me in. I'm like, I got to get all of them. I got to get the whole set. This is crazy. And then man, shout out to Johnny Dunn and Truck and Hank, who invited me into this group of just people that are just going crazy about this Pokemon stuff. It is so fun. So anyways, you get these packs, and I think that if you have like the premium version, which I think is $10 a month, but you get the first 2 weeks for free, you're going to get some additional packs that open. And so over time, you can open these packs without having to pay, and you can collect things. Or you can buy this Poke Gold, and the gold can be used to then purchase more packs. And you can buy single packs. You can either do open like single packs, or you can open 10 packs at a time. And they've done so good with the visuals on just opening packs. Like you swipe your finger across, and it might not be like a clean rip. Sometimes it's a clean rip right across. And there's all these theories about, listen, if you do a clean rip, when the line that's showing where to tear here like illuminates to yellow, that guarantees you like a higher probability of rarity of your cards. It was so fun, the speculation on this, and people were just picking the most random things of like when you do a single pack, it's kind of like this carousel, and you can shift what pack you want to open. And people had noticed like some corners that were bent. And so they're like, the bent ones give you a higher probability of a more rare card. And then it shifted from that, like, oh, the devs found out that Easter egg. So then they changed it. And now if the left edge is bent, then you select the pack to the left. If the right edge is bent, then you select the pack to the right. So many different theories. And then you got the other people on there being like, this is proof that none of those theories are true, that the pack is pre-selected no matter what you do. Even like the selection of the pack in the carousel, it's just a visual thing and it's already pre-selected. And I'm like, well, you must be so fun at parties. Thank you. Thank you for destroying our speculation, which is part of the fun, you jerk. So that's what I feel about that. But anyways, so look, I got what they're calling, I don't know, TCG Pocket just calls it a rare pack. And I think that the probability of landing a rare pack is like 0.15% or 0.015% or 0.03, whatever. It's pretty small probability. And I got this drop. And so I'm going to show you kind of one of the things that they do is they have these binders where you can store your cards. So if you see here, it's kind of crazy, but I got what other people are kind of calling, instead of a rare pack, they call it a God pack. But this God pack had 2 Crown Mewtwo's, a 3-star Mewtwo, and then 2 other super rare cards. And so basically these packs are, every single card is an extremely rare card. And I did have, if you saw there's that empty spot there. I had at one time, I had 4 Gold Crown Mewtwo's. I actually just burned one to get this flare. We'll see if that was the right decision. I'm very interested to see how this trading goes. If you have to kind of trade like for like I can only get a Gold Crown Charizard if I trade a Gold Crown Mewtwo or something. But it'll be interesting to see. I would love to hear how many of you guys are playing this. I know that there's a ton of the VeVe fam that are super into this. You go into that chat, and I'm like, wow, I haven't looked at this chat in like 2 hours, and there's like 200 messages. It's just constantly blowing up. And Johnny Dunn is like at the top of it, man. This guy is an alien. Like the amount of like rarity and packs that, like, yeah, his excitement is contagious. I don't know. So shout out to him. It's been really fun to do that. But so I don't know. I think that like right now they're doing this. It's called what are they calling it here? So there's an event underway that you can see here in the solo, and basically it's called the Lapras EX drop event. You go there, and it's basically playing against the computer, but there's different challenges. So I've gotten here where I've done the you start at like a beginner level here. You complete the challenges there, and then it kind of goes up in the number of challenges. And one of the things, this is one of the things that I taught, like that it's probably a smart thing that they've done this, but they limit the amount of gold that you can use on a daily basis to open packs. And so I remember me and Johnny Dunn and Dr. Rolex were sitting there, and we were just like opening packs, ripping 10 packs and stuff, and opening all these cards and collecting. And then we tried to buy the next 10 pack, and we're like what's happening? It won't let me buy anymore. And it's just like, well, as a part of this event, what happens here is you can kind of see at the top here are these little, I don't know what they are, but these items basically, that's like an attack. And so when I go to try to complete one of the missions here, that's using an attack, and there's a limited amount of attacks that you can use before you just have to wait for that. So anyways, and what's up, Doc? I love that. I love it. Shout out to Bugs Bunny, man. I love Bugs Bunny. Daffy Duck was actually my favorite, and Elmer Fudd. Those were my two OG favorites. Mo Collections is saying Evolvables is a sick idea. I agree. I'm really excited for that mechanic, and I'm really interested to see how that plays out. And my assumption after talking through things, Mo, that you might not have heard was I think that they're probably gonna do like a kind of like a test. So the first drop that they do will probably be like lower edition sizes in general to make sure that the mechanics are working before they drop like a banger. Because what they don't want is to drop a banger and it's messed up and it ruins that whole experience. So, but super stoked for that. And going back to this. So, all right, guys, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this deck. I have not lost. So one of the challenges that is actually can be pretty hard. Let's see if I can bring this up or highlight this. It's not going to let me. But right here, sorry, guys. So it says battle. Let's see if I can do this. Battle task, right? And it says win this battle using a deck where all of the Pokemon cards are of 1, 2, or 3 diamond rarity. So those are kind of like the lower powered cards, right? Your EX cards are a lot more high powered, and so basically it's kind of hamstringing your deck a little bit and seeing if you can still beat this deck. I'm going to show you the deck that I have not lost a single battle on with this, and it is this. Let's see. Let me go here in my decks. All right. So this is the deck here. You're going to get 2 Dratinis. I think is how you say that, right? 2 Dragonairs, 2 Dragonites, a Meowth, a Persian, 2 Lickitongues, and a Chansey. And then the rest, you got 2 potions, or you got a single potion, 2 Pokeballs. In fact, I'm going to change the, I need to change that, get 2 potions instead of that Pokedex. That Pokedex has been terrible. So I'm going to change that to a potion. But even with that Pokedex, like I've been able to win every single battle there in these missions. And then you get a red card, 2 Professor Research, a Giovanni, and a Sabrina. So anyways, that is the deck right there that I've been able to beat that challenge on every single level of trying to win with only 1, 2, or 3 diamond cards, which I tried for a while at different ones. I was like, this is freaking impossible. Finally got that deck together, and it's been phenomenal. So Mo Collections is saying 2025 going to be great. VeVe and Ecomi movement, Dogecoin pump because of Trump win. I mean, because of Trump win, we'll see. That'll be interesting. These elections, I'm definitely not going to get in the channel. But I would say that one candidate is a lot more pro-crypto. And so if that happens, I think that you could see quite a bit of a jump in price action there. So that'll be interesting. So look, guys, with that, I think that this is kind of everything, unless there's any other comments in there. I'm looking real quick just to see if there's any other updates that I want to cover with VeVe here. Oh, I want to know what you guys thought of. So there's been some frustration with some of the burn mechanics here where people are going for like the Ghost Rider Marvel Mighty, right? And it almost seems like it's back to like the fastest internet is the one that gets that. Do you guys think, like, I think that there should be a wait list for these burns. I think that that's the fairest way to do that, right? So basically at the drop time, you enter in a wait list. If you're selected, then you burn the collectibles and you get to do that. So then it's no longer like the fastest connection as you're trying to make that burn and things are popping up. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. But for me, I think that that would be the best way to do that, right? So that you have people where maybe their internet connection isn't as quick and they're getting all of these characters so that they can try to go for these more rare items like that Ghost Rider, and then they just never have a chance. So VeVe, if you're listening, I'd love for you guys to consider that, right? Is doing a wait list for the people who want to burn stuff so that people aren't disadvantaged just because they live in an area where the internet's not as fast or they just can't afford like faster internet. So I also want to comment a little bit on the Finding Nemo drop. So I think that this is one of the very first times where in a blind box drop, the most popular character was actually the secret rare with Nemo, and there was very few editions. Did that end up selling out? Has it sold out? Yeah. Does anyone know? Let's check that out real quick. But yeah, like the Nemos are going for quite a bit there, and I'm very interested to see. Looks like it's sold out. So that ended up selling out the last time I checked, which was I feel like earlier today. There's still about 30 left. So let's see what he's at in the market there. $750 in the market. That's wild for Nemo. And I'll say this. I don't have all the answers, right? So it'll be interesting, but it's like, why get some of these other utilities if you can't use Nemo in that, or if you have to pay $750 to get that? Whereas maybe people would rather have Nemo than they would Dory, and now they're not going to be able to do that. And I say not going to be able to do that. Look, you can still have a Nemo. Isn't there a Platinum Moments Nemo? It's just not the same. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that. You guys are not a talkative bunch right now. I don't know what's going on. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But let me see if there's anything else. Oh. Two things. I have not gone for the Death of Wolverine yet. I definitely want to get that. Yeah, Wolverine. But the Marvel, the Avengers, number 55, the first appearance of Ultron. I think that's going to be a pretty solid drop there. I haven't checked to see what the in real life physical is going for. I don't pay for the subscription to. Let's see. Let's see kind of what this is going for. Record sale. Wait, that's not the right one. What's happening, guys? This. Let me try this again. Huh. So Avengers number 55, which is the first appearance of Ultron. According to Quality Comics, it says in 2012 a 9.8 CGC NM/MT went for $800, but it's worth skyrocketed to $4,560 in December of 2022. So definitely not like a super high value comic, but look, I think that Ultron definitely through the movies, the Avenger movies, Ultron is a bigger character in people's minds than has been in the past. So, but I'm going to be going for that. It is $10, and which is interesting because even though it is kind of like I think that VeVe's price point is like if it's a Golden Age comic, it's $20. If it's a Silver Age, it's $10. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I'm going to be going for it on the drop. I'd love to get a secret rare with that, so I'll probably hit it a few times and try my luck on that. But Captain Kirk back with the Nemo drop says, I think it was a good drop with Nemo. As long as 80% of drops remain with the most sought after characters common up to the rare, every drop will not cater to everyone. That's a good point, right? That's a very good point, is when you're changing it around a little bit, yeah, you're right that you're not going to, not all of the commons, not having the most sought after character being the common every time kind of changes that up. And it does add value to those pieces there for the collectors who really want to go for that and collect those bigger sets. So yeah, that's good insight, Captain Kurt. So appreciate that. I'm looking at the time, guys, and I'm trying just in general to go an hour. But what I'm going to be doing here next week, episode 2 should be on Thursday. I'm waiting to hear back from my guests on this, but I'm really excited with part of this is where I'm going to be talking to people out of the community and their thoughts on that. And I hope that the insights from these collectors are helpful for people in their thought process. So I won't announce it until I can confirm for sure that this Thursday at the time I need to is going to work. But in general, guys, it's going to be every week, Tuesdays. Unless one of the guests can't make that, then I'll try to be flexible and announce that ahead of time. But I'm really looking at just adding more consistent, being more consistent, right? And kind of building up this. And I'm going to start doing some giveaways as I start to build this up and get more consistent with this. But one of the things that I haven't said, and I definitely need to, is please smash, push, crush, or gently caress the like, subscribe, and all notifications buttons. If you guys like this content, if you like the discussions and my thought process on these things, I'd love for you guys to help support in the free way to help grow this channel so that I can get monetized, right? I'd love that. And I think that one of the things with monetization is it kind of elevates my channel and my streams to more people and just helps with that growth there. So the whole purpose of this is really to try to inform more people on digital collecting and what's out there and have these discussions and provide my thoughts on this. And look, I'm probably not going to always be highly complimentary of everything VeVe does. I'm going to give my honest feedback on that. And hopefully that provides some value or insight to everyone. But with this, I'm going to end the stream and just want to wish you guys happy election day. It'll be very interesting to see this next week how things play out. But thank you so much for watching. We had quite a few people here during the stream and appreciate you, fam. And we'll see you next time. Until then, peace out.